Nice to be here. It's nice to connect with you students as well. I always think that you can rely on Madison and I. If you ever have questions or things, you can reach out to us personally. You can absolutely find our contact information on our website for Lynx Connect, but also our specific offices that are put in Lynx Connect, which we'll talk a lot more about today too. So anytime you got questions, feel free to add them into the chats. Feel free to unmute yourself if you like. You're welcome to use one of the reaction hands too to get our attention. Really, I think we're both approaching this in a way, make sure you get the information, things make sense for you because it's all for you, right? All about investing in your future and being able to connect you to careers and development in that way. Awesome, Madison. Before we start, Madison, is there anything like you would like to share before we jump into our slides?
No, you pretty much hit on everything I was thinking of. I am an internship advisor in the experiential learning center inside of Lynx Connect, and so I'll be able to provide that kind of part of the presentation and touch on other cool parts of Lynx Connect as well.
Awesome, cool. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'll share my screen and we'll move just through some kind of content and some activities and things, some slides and whatnot. So here we go, students. Let's do it. All right, awesome. So what you see here, right, our branding for Lynx Connect. So that way, if you ever come across that image, you see Lynx Connect you to your careers. This is the office that Madison and I represent. And so to get ourselves started here, Madison, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So Lynx Connect is the great place to connect you and what you're studying in or majoring in to your future goals. So Lynx Connect is a one-stop shop for enhancing your experience, expanding your global perspective, research, internships, on-campus employment, part-time and full-time jobs, and really exploring different options within your chosen career field. The best way to connect with us is to either by email or by appointment. You can meet with an expert who can help tackle any questions that you have about how to gain hands-on real-world experience inside of Lynx Connect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the first offices, the office that I represent in Lynx Connect is the Career Center. And so really, we're going to just talk briefly about some of the things that we offer. But one of those things I wanted to pinpoint initially that you're seeing on the screen at the very bottom is Handshake. So Handshake is going to be our internship and job board for students. You can find on-campus jobs, off-campus jobs, internships in there located as well. But like Madison had said, one of the great ways to connect with our office or be able to engage with us is to be able to schedule appointments. So you can actually schedule appointments inside Handshake via the appointment scheduler. So know that that's one of the a great central place for all of our tools, all of our resources, things like resume writing and whatnot can all be found in Handshake. So we always wanted to point you to that because it's a great resource and is honestly the bread and butter of our office and what we work with. And so for the Career Center, some of the big things that we do here in terms of how it helps you to connect to your career is really some of the career counseling pieces. And so for us, we really work on that self-understanding, helping you to assess and develop and see, all right, what are these skills that you want to develop? Or what are these interests that you might have? The values you're looking to express within your career, or even your personality as well. Because the whole goal here is to be able to understand who we are so that we can identify careers and industries and opportunities that express us. And so it all starts with self-understanding. And so from there, it's kind of taking those principles and that knowledge set and saying, all right, how do I relate this to majors? If you're interested in a certain career direction, what majors might get you there? Or if you're just not sure what you really want to do, hey, let's look into these different self-exploration activities and say, what majors could help to express these pieces? Or it could be those of interest that create that sense of engagement and excitement for you. But also too, it's that career planning piece. So saying, hey, I know I want to do X, Y, Z. How do I get there? Or I have these different ideas. How do I test them out or figure out where I want to go? And all of these pieces all relate to that career planning, career exploration, and understanding of self and how it all relates. So a part of what brings you to college. Why are you here? Also part of the Career Center is all of our job searching things. So we support with on-campus jobs, off-campus jobs, work-study jobs, anything like that. And these don't necessarily need to be, quote unquote, professional level positions, but these can absolutely just be some part-time roles that you might need to make some extra income. or whatever it might be. So don't exclude or not think of the Career Center if you're just looking for a new opportunity, or maybe you're not satisfied with the opportunity you're currently in and want to make a shift. But what goes into that too is that expression of your professional identity. So it's being able to say, all right, how do I write resumes? How do I write cover letters? I always make the joke of please don't Google how to write how to write a resume, because the information you get is all across the board. Come to Madison and I, both of our offices in Lynx Connect support with resumes and cover letters, and you can find some awesome resources inside Handshake related to this also. Same thing, interviewing. How do I express my professional identity? How do I represent my goals and skills in a professional context? Big part of what we do. Also, mock interviews, practice interviewing. We have an interview software called Big Interview that you can record yourself and even take these videos to evaluate or send them our way. So we can do some evaluation with you too. And then one of the last big things that we support with also is that networking and connection to employers. So inside Lynx Connect, we have an employer relation team that helps to develop these connections and helps to bring in employers on campus. We have a tremendous amount of events, and one event we'll talk about at the end of our presentation that we want to put on the back of y'all's mind. And so know that, again, networking, connection to employers, these events that are out there, all big parts of what we do in the Career Center.
Nick, do you mind clicking through? Thank you. So the ELC, which we're also known as the internship office, but experiential learning first, it's a process of which you can really develop your knowledge, skills, and values from these direct experiences outside of a traditional classroom. Currently, we are primarily helping out with internships. So as you may know, internships provide off-campus work experience directly related to your major field of study. So that's a big piece of it. It gives you the opportunity to explore and apply academic theory in the professional world. So taking what you're learning in the classroom and applying it to a real-world experience. During the internship process, it's a great way to develop new skills, gain valuable real-world knowledge that will help set you apart from other applicants upon graduation. Around 80% of students are having 1 or 2 internships by the time that they graduate. So it's really important that you set yourself up for success as well and become more competitive in the job field for when you do graduate. We are an office of 3 internship advisors that are professionally trained and can help out with a few of the things that Nick touched on, as well as offer ongoing support for not only students, but also faculty and employers as well. So we can help you with your resume and your cover letter to become more competitive whenever you're applying. If you have an employer in mind that you want to work with, let your internship advisor know and we can help you get connected to them. We're here to support you in having a successful internship experience so that you can build on your career aspirations and define those career objectives.
And like the meme says, they're essential, they're really important. And I love the fact of having a Career Center and experiential learning so close together, because like Madison just shared, they very much are essential to help us identify our direction and develop those skills. So one of the other offices inside Lynx Connect is also our Office of Undergraduate Research. And so what's super fascinating about this office is it's all designed to provide entry-level research experience. So it's not to make you feel scared. It's not to make you think, oh, research isn't for me because I'm in the College of Arts and Media, or research isn't for me because I am in education. Well, no, the whole goal of this office is to help every major, every school and college, every student explore this idea and learn more about if they want to do research and to engage in this research. And something that's so fascinating as well is that you'll see things that are related to scientific inquiry, just being able to gather information, see what's out there to say, what's the current body of knowledge say about this and how do we advance it forward? But then also too, even developing strong hypotheses or question development, being able to design certain methods of investigation, and also being able to disseminate that information. How do we share it with a larger community? How do we maybe support a faculty with a publication? And if you hear me saying that, you're like, oh my gosh, publication, that's so scary. It's not. That's the whole point of this office, is to give you that entry-level experience and work with you in developing and coaching and going through research itself. some things that are really exciting is that this research can absolutely happen in labs like you would traditionally think of in, maybe NCIS or things we see on TV of lab coats and Bunsen burners and all of those types of things. But it can also happen inside studios, art studios or architectural studios, engineering studios, and even knowing field work happens as well. Something that's super fascinating and really cool is we actually have beehives on top of, I believe, the Student Commons building. And one of our environmental researchers or environmental faculty work with those bees and see how they navigate and pollinate. So that's a fascinating example of being able to do research out in the field as well. And I love to just keep on hitting this point home that, again, it's not just for your typical hard sciences or what would be your biochemistry, physics types of majors, but it is for every student, including those that are within film and animation or even script writing and things of that nature too. So the big piece is it's introduction to research. It's supporting faculty with research, but also if you are interested in creating your own type of research or trying to hone an idea that you might have, or you want to explore more about, our staff members within undergraduate research can help you to formulate those ideas and help you to put that down as an opportunity too.
So the Office of Global Education, Study Abroad, they can help with a lot of different programs. So Nick, if you don't mind clicking through, they're committed to providing every student with a wide range of engaging and affordable international academic, research, and clinical opportunities to help you really globalize your academic and professional future. So their programs include faculty-led programs where you may be going with a specific faculty for like 2 weeks to really focus in on like recording arts in Japan, for example. There's a really cool trip for that. Or like there's one called like Food in Italy, and just there's really cool programs that you can be a part of for this. There's also the semester-long programs where it's more of what you think of for traditional studying abroad, where you go to a different country and take your classes there that semester. We have the internship programs abroad, which is in conjunction with my office in the experiential learning, where you actually intern in a different country and gain that hands-on international experience. Third-party provider programs are going through exactly what it sounds like, a third party to get connected with different abroad programs, whether that be taking classes, doing research, or even those clinical opportunities I previously mentioned. CU Denver students have successfully competed for national scholarships, including Gilman, Boren, and Fulbright, I think are the 3 big ones. The OGE website is phenomenal in navigating the different scholarship opportunities. So if you go to ucdenver.edu/study abroad, and you can explore their different opportunities, and on each country that you're looking into, it'll say what scholarships you'll be eligible for. So I highly recommend looking into that early. We encourage you to participate in workshops, peruse their website, and just go visit their awesome staff as soon as possible so that you can gain some knowledge about what options are available for you. And you can gain class credit towards graduation. Don't want to miss that piece.
Cool. So I wanted to take a quick moment. We had a chat come in, and it was in regards to how to schedule appointments, with the Career Center, or even I can extend that out to Madison's office or undergraduate research, as well as a question around like how to use Handshake, this platform we briefly talked about. So really, if you're interested, go ahead and just put your name in the chat real quick, or say, hey, I want that resource. I've written down some names here, and I'm happy to go ahead and email students out a little PDF, a little resource that we have around using Handshake. Honestly, one of the best ways that you can schedule appointments in Lynx Connect would be to use Handshake to do the appointment scheduler, which again, that resource will have that information on how to do so, as well as at the end, we're going to have a general email for you to reach out to Lynx Connect. So you can always say, hey, I want to schedule an appointment, and we can coach you and work you through that process as well. So again, if you're interested in getting that resource, please feel free to just put your name in the chat. I'll write it down. And after this presentation, I'll go ahead and send you all that email. Cool. Let's see, we got another one popping in, so perfect. All right, so wanted to just kind of break away from Madison and I being able to, just speak at you and share some of this information with you all. And so what we wanted to do is feel free to, in the chat, or if you feel comfortable to unmute yourself, or even if you want to turn in your camera, totally your choice about comfortability there. But we wanted to ask a couple of questions and just have a bit of a quick conversation with you all. And so one of those questions that we have and we're real curious about is, what brings you to college? Why are you coming here? What's the goals that you have, or what's the motivation behind coming to college? Or even to maybe that third one of, what do you want out of this experience? What are you most excited about? And what is this thing you want out of it? So again, feel free to chat if you like, feel free to unmute yourself, and let's kind of have a quick conversation. Cool, Sarah, I see that too. Thanks. And Marcelo?
I can share. I'm kind of coming back later. So I did some college right after high school, and then now I'm back here on scholarship. And the issue that I had the first time around was actually that I was not able to do an internship. Like I couldn't afford to do an unpaid, and the year that I graduated was at a separate school, so I didn't know about applying way back before, and so I ended up working in fields that had absolutely nothing to do with my major. And so this time around, that's really important to me, and I found some good fellowships and stuff, but I don't really know a ton about the application process or how to be the best candidate, especially since I'm just a few days into being a physics major, which is completely different. I wasn't a STEM major at all before, and don't want to miss the ball, but don't even know what it looks like. So
That's really cool, Sarah. Madison, I see you have unmuted yourself. Go ahead. I think you have something you want to share.
Yeah, I do. I'm so glad you're coming back, and hopefully you're interested in potentially pursuing an internship again. I will say there's a lot more paid opportunities in the STEM field, and you typically, the earlier you start, the better. If any of you folks are not in the STEM field and you're still interested in an internship, we actually have an unpaid internship support scholarship now that we offer every semester that tries to replace like the minimum wage hourly pay so that you can get paid for that opportunity. Also within STEM, you can even use a research opportunity for fulfilling an internship requirement for your major a lot of the time, especially in science fields, I'm sorry. And there's a lot of paid internship and research opportunities. Earlier, I did want to mention we have the undergraduate research and creative activities program. It's acronym to Eureka is what it spelled, and it's a lot of paid opportunities. So if any of you are interested in getting more involved with internships or research, I highly recommend coming at least a semester in advance of when you're looking to complete that experience. However, we're always happy to help last minute too, because there's always opportunities available now. So I'm so glad that you're back, Sarah, and hopefully we can make it a little easier for you this round.
No, I would love to just echo exactly what Madison is saying. It's so awesome to have you back and take another shot at this. And I think, like you just said too, that an internship can sometimes be something that's immensely helpful and beneficial. And even to not knowing exactly what to do with our degrees is, I think, the nature of this process and why our offices exist, quite frankly. And so, Sarah, for you personally, feel comfortable to always reach out and we can talk through what are some potential potential positions that could relate to your interests, and what are some things that you can do to help hone that and figure that out exclusively and specifically. I also wanted to take a moment. I had another student go ahead and add in the chat. And I think it's really fascinating because it just represents that, degrees can also be things that help us advance and at times can help us potentially earn a little bit more money. And so a big part of the Career Center is helping you to think about how do we leverage some of our previous background, our previous experiences and knowledge to be able to really move ourselves forward and advocate and really just get out there saying, hey, I'm worth this amount of money and I can make more of an impact in this way. And so for this student as well, I'd really go ahead and say, yeah, let's connect. We can really think about how can we use this degree along with your experience to really push you forward and find that position that's meaningful and also within the style of life and the income potential that you're really looking for. Because, take it from the career counselor. This is a part of the conversation. Income potential and stability, and all of these things are a part of our decision. And so I love the fact that you've added this comment into it, and happy to help navigate that as well. So any other students want to potentially add, what brings them to college or what they want out of this experience? Cool, cool. Well, some other questions, perhaps, maybe these might be ones that could spur some more too. We're really curious to think about. So when with some of these things that we've just talked about, right? Well, what's an office or campus activity that could help us reach that goal? I think Madison and I gave a little leeway in what that answer could really look like, engaging in internships that help hone career goals, engaging with either one of us to help through maybe salary negotiations or thinking through how to find that particular industry or employer that is the, quote unquote, best fit that we're really looking for. I think another question as well that we could put out there is, how does this goal relate to investing in your future? I think that a piece that I always like to hit on with this question of what brings you to college is that, for myself, what brought me to college was to find a job that was meaningful to me, to have some higher income, to do something that was an expression of what I wanted to do, and not just like a labor position or not just some sales position or something of that nature. Not to say that those are not valuable and important, they just were not what I was looking for. And so again, our whole offices in Lynx Connect are all designed to help you get your goals met and identify what you're looking for, how to get there, and to make sure that this experience is what you want and get you to where you want to be. Cool. Let's check the chat real quick, see if we got anything else coming in. You'll see too, I put in the spelling for Eureka, like Madison had mentioned, that undergraduate research program. There's a lot of paid positions that are built into there. And I always like to mention to students that don't be hesitant to engage with our office or think about study abroad or research or internships simply because of the income factor. There are a lot of scholarships and things out there to support. Cool. All right, so let's see, we'll go ahead and move forward a little bit more with some of this other fun stuff that we have for you all.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for sharing. So why are internships so important? And I was that student in school that I had to have a job to support myself. I was a full-time student, and I still took an unpaid internship because of the value behind it. And so if you are interested in this, that's what we're here to help with. Let's talk a little bit about this cycle first. We never know exactly where we're going or what we're doing. It's all truly in the future. So every choice that we're making, we have to gather data and educate ourselves about it to determine how it really relates to our goals. It's that intentionality piece of working toward goals. We initially need to explore some ideas. So the exploration can be conducted by meeting with a Lynx Connect professional staff member or even a peer advisor in Lynx Connect about options that are related to your major. The earlier you come to us, the oftentimes more options you have available, but we are truly here for you at any point in your academic career. And even the career counselors are available after you graduate also to continue to support you. But let's talk specific to internships. Internships are an opportunity to integrate your academics into the professional world. After you know about your options and you've explored what you want to do, it's time to then experiment with it. You can use an internship to develop new skills or even enhance old skills, gain knowledge and confidence about your abilities. It's a great opportunity to not only network and develop strong relationships, but also develop your cultural competencies and problem-solving skills so that you are more competitive in your skill set in your industry. It's always connecting it back to your specific career path, your major, your minor, your certificate, whatever you're working on. Through experimenting with an internship or a job, going abroad or conducting research, etc. Whatever it is that really is speaking to you. It allows you to then say, what was that like? Is this what I was looking for? Do I enjoy the experience that I had? 81% of students report that internships shift their career direction. And I was one of those. I started out as a journalism major and I switched to psychology because it just was not filling my cup. It's really important to evaluate your experiences so that then you can have a more informed career decision. And that's a little piece about why internships are so important. I could talk about it forever though.
Yeah. I think it relates to exactly why both of us do the work that we do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there was a comment that came in about some paid internships if they are available. Just want
Yes.
verbally with as well. There are absolutely paid internships. And even for some of those students that haven't received or did not receive a paid internships, there's different scholarships that can help provide some funding for those unpaid internships as well.
Yep. And I just want to reiterate, I sound like a broken record, but if you are looking for a paid internship, or if you do have like extenuating circumstances where you can only intern evenings or weekends, the sooner you come work with your internship advisor, the better we can try to fit an internship that is right for you. We work with non-traditional students all the time that they can only work after 5 p.m. or only on Saturdays, and they're still having successful internship opportunities. Your specific field, Celeste, I'm not sure what you're majoring in, but they might not offer a ton of paid opportunities, but that's when scholarship, work study, et cetera, it can come into play. So hopefully we can help you with that. English, yes, there are paid opportunities within English. Again, though, the sooner you come, the better for sure.
That's nice. Awesome.
Great question. That's a very popular question.
Yeah. And you know, the same goes too for study abroad, you know, to just hit that point home again. I, in a similar way, was like Madison, where I was working part-time and going to school. So I didn't have a lot of opportunity to do internships. And I had a lot of friends that study abroad and I was like, I can't pay that kind of money. But just know that there are absolutely funding sources and scholarships to help with studying abroad as well. So all of our offices, all of the opportunities of the 4 offices that build Lynx Connect, there are funding sources and ways to support you through also. But it's all about engagement early and often with us so that we can help navigate that and get everything in order appropriately. Cool. Awesome. So, right, same kinds of things with like career engagement, career direction. So if we're investing in our future, if we're Lynx connecting ourselves to our careers, it's really that whole point, like Madison had said, that we just can't predict the future. And that really what we're trying to identify is what are careers that are engaging? Because engagement is more important than passion. And I will tell you this from myself, that I wasn't passionate about career development when I was going through college. Even when I was thinking about my graduate program and the previous direction that I was in, like Madison as well, you know, I was in mental health counseling, and that was the type of work that I was doing. And similar to this whole model that you see, once again, I had to experiment. I had to take an internship when I had that opportunity. I had to work in that field a little bit to then evaluate, to really say, well, what is it that I really want to do? So when we think about career engagement, it's about identifying kind of that core piece, that main motivator for us, that gets us out of bed, that creates impact, that really allows us to move and makes us want to do more. And that this essence, this essential piece of motivation or engagement can be expressed in so many different ways that are career titles. So again, you know, for myself, it's about helping people and helping people reach their goals. Well, I tested that idea once when it was in mental health counseling. I tested that idea once as a preschool teacher. And it was through different things that I've done that helped me to identify where I'm going and what I'm really looking for. So I encourage you students to break that passion mindset and not necessarily think about what are you passionate about? Because, you know, I'm also passionate about snowboarding, but I don't want to be a snowboard instructor. I don't want to design snowboards. Those are hobbies. Those are things I do for fun. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a career direction for myself. Very similarly, right, when we're talking about all these different things, taking on as many different experiences as possible can help us to hone these directions, hone these ideas, and identify what is engaging, as well as help to develop a wide variety of skills. So a big thing that we focus on in Lynx Connect are called career competencies. So there's an association called the National Association of Colleges and Employers, and they survey employers to say, hey, what are recent graduates like? What are they lacking? What are they missing? What are you really wanting them to have? And they have identified 8 different areas that they would like to see students develop more and connect in. And it's things like, critical reasoning and cultural fluency, digital technology, career management and leadership, right? And if you're ever interested, we can always talk more about that. Well, the way we develop these career competencies to sell to an employer, to potentially make a higher income, or to find a position that's meaningful to us through an educational major or a specific curriculum, really do come from all of these things: study abroad, research, internships, student employment, groups and clubs, volunteering. It's really anything that we can do outside the classroom as well that helps us to hone that career direction and identify what we're looking for. And very similarly, don't undervalue those assignments you have in class. I know I was always one of those students of like, oh, great, I got another group project. This is going to be fun having everybody not do anything, and I just feel like I need to control it all. Well, honestly, as you can tell from Madison and I, we're collaborating, we're working within a team. This is important content. And these are things that we can put on our resume as well. So don't undervalue those assignments you get in class, because they can help you to challenge and test and express certain ideas, because we need that experimentation of this cycle that you see to help us figure out, cool, what are we doing? Where are we going? And so the whole piece is that we need to learn from the experiences to help us make this pivot. Madison and I shared a little bit of our background and our own stories that allowed us to make a pivot, and always knowing that this cycle is something we go through our entire lives. It doesn't just happen while you're in college. It doesn't just happen in your first career after graduation, but it's something you do your whole life, because you will continue to grow well into your 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s, just like you've grown every other time in your life. You've changed in regards to what you're looking for, what you want. You've taken on new skills. You've kind of released some things that don't really identify with you anymore. And so knowing that this model helps us to find career satisfaction through our whole life, so that when you do find yourself, 2, 5 years in a position and you go, cool, this has been fun, but what's next? What else can I do? Then we can take a look at this model. Like Madison has shared, you can always connect with the Career Center as an alumni to talk about, right? What's that next step? How do we make this pivot? How do we change this process and everything like that? And so one thing that we wanted to point you all to and give you a quick heads up about is that on September 24th, we're going to have our internship and job fair. It's going to be a digital fair. It's through the Handshake app. And so know that you can schedule appointments with Madison or I to be able to kind of talk through, what does this look like? What do I need to do? How do I prepare for this? And also too, there are going to be some emails and other information that's coming out to you as well. So check out your email, pay attention to emails from like Lynx Connect or from Handshake, because that will also have some valuable information about this and about our events in general. Very similarly, for some of our STEM, our engineering, computing and design majors, we will also have that specific internship and job fair November 1st or 5th, excuse me. And very similarly, it'll be done digitally, and we can absolutely support and help you through making sure you feel comfortable with that process.
A quick plug as well to add to that, even if you're not looking for an internship or a job right now, still come, because we don't know what's going to happen in the spring or next year with COVID, with fairs. And so this is a great way to just get your feet wet with a virtual fair. And you can even see the employers who are attending in advance as well, just to get prepared and do some research to see if you're interested too.
Mm-hmm. So, honestly, we still have some time, and I know there's some questions about like Handshake and scheduling and things. And I know I'll still send out this resource via email for some of the students that I've written down here. But I also thought, hey, let me go ahead and just show you. I got you right now. We have some free time. So give me one moment. I'm going to switch over my screen really quickly and show you a little navigation within Handshake and how to access it.
You read my mind, Nick.
Cool. So Madison, are we seeing the Lynx Connect homepage?
We are.
Awesome, cool. So this is the Lynx Connect homepage. You can Google CU Denver Lynx Connect and it will take you right here. You can see the 4 different offices of Career Center, internships or experiential learning, undergraduate research, study abroad. So if you like Career Center internships, either one of these we can get to, and it will help us to find the location for Handshake. You can also access Handshake through UCD Access. So once you log into the student portal, you'll see it kind of right there as like student employment, or even Handshake it might be labeled as. But if we're on like the Career Center site, for example, we can scroll down a little bit, and there it is. Boom.
Look for that virtual front desk too.
Oh yeah, so our virtual front desk, absolutely. You can log into the virtual front desk, ask some quick questions, get some support about, hey, how do I navigate this in Handshake? Or I might have a hold on my account that says I'm restricted and I can't apply to this internship, which just means you got to do an internship workshop. But again, check out the virtual front desk because it can answer those questions for you really quickly too, without necessarily having to schedule an appointment. But real quick, we'll just go ahead and hit on the Handshake link. It will use single sign-on, so it's going to ask you what's your university login information, so your username and password that you have for getting access to the computers and things, or UCD access. And so specifically in regards to scheduling appointments with Madison or myself, once you're on the home page here, what you want to do is get to Career Center. So you can find the link right here on the far right-hand side. You can also find it in the top right-hand side by your profile icon. And once you select on Career Center, this is where you can get access to the appointment scheduler. This is also where you'll get access to the resource library to check out our resume booklet, our informational interviews, or interview support, all the things that we work on with students. And for the appointment scheduler, we'll just go ahead and select into it. You can then find all of your past appointments that you may have scheduled, but you can also go ahead and schedule one right through here. So you can see we have the different offices broken down of experiential learning internships, undergraduate research. We have just some drop-ins that you can quickly do with some of our peer advisors, so fellow students of yours that support you through some of the questions or tips and things related. Similarly, even thinking about like Career Center. So like if you're looking to maybe schedule something with myself to figure out direction or goals or what you could really do, selecting on it gives you a few different options here. So let's say it's all about, hey, I need to choose a major. Where am I going? What am I doing? Sweet, let's select on it. And now I'll bring up the scheduler where you can begin to find some open appointments. And so unfortunately this week, it looks like Rick, one of our counselors, only has an appointment tomorrow at 2 o'clock, but we can look out any different week that's out there. We can see all the different available appointments. So you see myself and Rick with different appointment times here. You know, maybe Wednesday's better than Monday. Cool, let's take a look at Wednesday. And similarly, again, you're gonna see what's all available and inside Handshake. And essentially, if you find one, you can go ahead and click on it, ask you some brief questions about what are you looking to accomplish? Did you receive a presentation and things? Feel free to just answer all this out and you can request it. And essentially what will happen is Madison and I will receive an invitation, or excuse me, receive an email. We'll take a look at that request, go ahead and approve it. You know, if it is a Zoom or digital appointment, we'll send you that information earlier in that day, maybe even before the close of business, the day previous or the day before. The other thing too to know within Handshake also, if you're looking through opportunities, like you want to just say, hey, well, cool, well, what kind of internships are out there? If you just go under the jobs tab right here, right next to the search bar, this will open up all the different opportunities that you can find inside Handshake. So you can see we have all these different filters along the top here. Let's say, again, we're looking for that internship per se. Selecting on internship will then allow you to view all the different types of opportunities that are out there. If you're noticing, hey, this one's in New York, this one's in Dublin, Ireland, this one's in Sweden, right? So something to pay attention to is that Handshake does connect with every university in the country that uses it. So you can find positions and internships outside of Denver or even Colorado. But if you're looking for those that are specific to the Denver area or something within Colorado, just use that location filter and we can easily add it in to help hone what we're really looking for.
And as Nick mentioned earlier, the first step in the Experiential Learning Center is to attend our internship workshop. That's because your major probably has very specific requirements of how to complete an internship, especially for academic credit. We also want to make sure you have a good understanding of your rights and responsibilities as an intern, because there is employment law specific to internships. That workshop is 20 to 30 minutes. You can sign up under the events tab right up there next to jobs where Nick is pointing. It's offered via Zoom every week. Or we also have a Canvas course if you want to complete it in your own time outside of business hours at your own pace. You can do that as well. So again, just email the Lynx Connect email that I popped into the chat, or email me if you want, and I can help get you started for the internship workshop.
Yeah,
And you
for
can
sure.
do it once. So if you attend it now, you'll have like lifetime, but as long as you're in school, access to applying to those internships through Handshake.
Yeah. And just know, like, this is that messaging, because my Handshake profile, I haven't gone through the internship workshop. So it says your school has restricted your ability to apply to this job or internship. And that's exactly what Madison is saying. We take a look at our events and be able to find that internship workshop. But even too, like we're talking about, right, the bringing students and connecting them to employers, you can see that we have all of these different connections with employers where, you know, there's a virtual job fair coming up. We have Amazon that's doing a virtual series, career conversations with our business school. There's a Los Angeles career fair, right? So always take a look at this event section, because you never know who we're bringing to campus. Could be a really cool event to be able to connect, you know, for our maybe social and human science majors, checking out this event as well. So again, always knowing there's a tremendous amount of resources and events and tools and scheduling all built into Handshake. Cool. Awesome. So students, that was about all that we had for you. You know, let me go ahead and I'll just bring this up one more time, simply so that I can then share the contact information for Lynx Connect, so you can see our phone number, our location on campus. We do have some some limited times that we are in the office. So if you do happen to find yourself on campus and maybe do want to meet in person, that could potentially happen as well. So that location is there also.